Hey guys, how you doing? It's gonna be one of those videos where I'm gonna try to test a couple of things here. I'm recording this in ultimate high definition 2160p, and I'm using like the high resolution, high five audio, very high quality audio on this LG V20. So my voice might sound a little bit clearer because I'm using such a high end microphone, and I have set it basically to the highest possible bit rate, which is 64 Mbps, megabits per second, left and right, high five audio. I'm also going to be testing a little bit to see how this camera captures with a low light this game. So I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to mess a little bit with the ISO and get the low light. See how I'm like getting the low light right now, right there. I can go higher if I want to. And I'm also gonna test a couple of other features on my TV. I'm gonna test. This is something that's done by request from my friend Wayne, and he wanted me to test a. He wanted me to test the black level high and then black level low. He wanted me just to do that same representation that I used to do in my videos, where I would for like 3 seconds I would switch to one mode, and then after 3 seconds I would switch to another mode. So I'll do the same thing with the black levels here, but I'm going to try to zoom in with this camera. See how much I can zoom in here. Let's zoom in like this. There we go. All right, that's better. Okay, I'm zoomed in all the way in here. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna try to get my settings here, and I'm gonna go to a expert settings, and I'll go to the black level right here. Right now it's set on automatic. But the problem is this. When you go on the game mode, you cannot use the black level. They're set on automatic. What I basically have to do is I have to go back and switch from a game mode, go to the special viewing mode. I have to turn off the game mode. I have to turn that off, and then I have to go back to expert settings, and then go down to a black levels. Oh, that's interesting. It won't let you. Here's the problem. When you're running in HDR, here's the thing. This is from my friend Wayne, because he asked me for this. When you're running a HDR game, in this case UHD color on, you cannot mess with the black levels. Okay, it doesn't give you that option because you are running a HDR game. It's already being taken care of for you, so you don't have to mess with the black levels, because a high dynamic range is giving that black levels to you as it is. The only thing you have to look for is the peak nits. This TV has a very high peak nits, and let's talk about the peak brightness. How do they measure peak brightness? This is for people who don't understand this. Okay, this is how they measure it. Okay, right now I'm taking the backlight all the way down. All right. Well, let's say this is the standard. Let's say they left it at 8. The way Digital Foundry and ratings.com, the way they measure the nits, they go all the way up with the backlit. They turn the backlit all the way up, and they turn the contrast all the way up. And then they have a device, they point it out at the screen, and they measure the nits, the peak brightness of the nits. And it comes to 1000. In some games, it comes to like 1400, 1200, depending on what type of content you're watching. Alright? So that's what they mean by peak nit brightness. I hate to use the word nits, but it is what it is. This is for people who don't know, and I've seen some of you don't know, man. Like, you don't understand how they measure these nits. Alright? They have a device that points to the screen, and then they take the backlight and contrast all the way up, and then they measure the peak brightness. The LG 7700 failed. on that respect. Okay, it didn't win any awards. All right, let's see what else we can do here on. Let's test a couple of things. Let me adjust the contrast. By the way, this camera has so many cool features that you can do, man. You can adjust it any way you like, man. This is a perfect camera if you want to record something. There's so much stuff you can adjust. Let's go with the brightness a little bit higher. All right, let's go even higher. See, but this is too much. Then let's get the low light. See, now the low light is perfect here. Let's play some video games here. By the way, this. Oh, she wants the sandwich. Is that what it is? Hold on. Grab that beer. There you go, man. Remember, the whole purpose of this video is for me to test the 4K camera and just see how well it records. Also to test my voice on it. And it really does good job. I mean, there's so much customizations that you can do here on this camera. What else she wants? A sandwich? Like what? Turn on TV? I don't understand. You see that carpet, for example, see how the low light, you can adjust the low light, so when you're recording something, you can give it a natural feel to it. You would probably think that I'm like capturing this right now. You couldn't tell a difference, right, if it's being recorded via camera. But here, once I zoom out, here, it's definitely a, this phone has a really good camera, man, and not bad. And there's a lot of features here. You can also adjust the color temperature if you like. You can do that as well. Now let's go with the brightness a little bit higher on the peak. You see, I can adjust it, but see, I don't want to see the problem with the other camera. I was getting this. This is what I was getting with the other camera. Like I was getting a lot of that peak brightness. It was like this, and it's like ridiculous. You don't want that. You want to lower that down to make it look even. And get the low light perfectly like this. And it looks great. Now let's exit out of this and let me show you something. See, like for example right here. That's what you get with that peak brightness. Let's go back to the game. All in all, I mean, I'm happy with the camera so far. I mean, it really gets the job done the way I wanted it to be done. It has a nice zoom in. It's a very clean zoom in. Like when you zoom in